Tuvia, welcome to Frankfurt.
Welcome to you, Sasha. The beautiful place you have here. Amazingly beautiful. I'm really impressed with the place.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You've been on the road
Yeah,
a lot.
yeah.
What's your favorite place in Europe?
My favorite place in Europe?
Yeah.
Brr. It depends on what. I think Berlin and Vienna.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why Berlin?
Berlin, I like these places over there, it's like Prenzlauer Berg. For me, that's Berlin, Mitte and Prenzlauer Berg,
I assume you've been on the Sonnenallee a few times?
Yeah, many places, and I like also, and in Vienna, I like the majestic of all this. I like to see a country and a nation that thought itself was an empire, and was an empire, and what is Oostenrijk? Oostenrijk means the empire of the East, the Eastern Empire. And guess what happened? And they're no longer an empire, they're just a little place where you can buy, how do you call it, apple strudel and a real Wiener Schnitzel. And they're okay with this, it's like, I think I should send all the Americans to Vienna to see what happens. You are an empire, now you're not an empire, it's perfectly well. You can still eat Sachertorte or whatever it is.
Tell me about Berlin. Tell me about the Sonnenallee.
Berlin is nice. It's like...
You still feel safe going there?
Look, in Europe today, as a Jew, you are not safe unless you're really totally behind Hamas and behind Palestine, and you go on the street and you march from the river to the sea. Palestine will be free. And the point is, you must, in order to join the people, to be in one spirit, you must not know which river and which sea and where Palestine is all, because otherwise you miss the whole point. The whole point is that you can scream this and you can shout it and you can even say I'm Palestinian, it's like all this Mishigassen, and you feel good about yourself. You feel you did the right thing. You gave it to the Jews. And that's a good feeling, for the Europeans, of course.
Where do you
and
feel...
the Americans in New York. The selbe Sache. It's like wherever you go today in Western Europe.
Where do you feel the least comfortable in the world?
Where I feel the least comfortable in the world? Oh, where do I feel the least comfortable in the world? I don't know yet. I usually feel comfortable in Europe. I try to feel comfortable everywhere. Put me in Jordan, in Amman, I will feel comfortable. I'll find some good places to eat, You
enjoyed your time in Qatar?
I love my time in Qatar. It's very good food. I was very, very well treated by the family. They put me in a 7-star hotel. It was amazing. And yeah, they have those stories. And yes, it's like, I'm the kind of a person, I guess, who tries to enjoy wherever I am. Wherever he is. So I can't really point a finger and say, here in this city or in this country, I don't feel comfortable.
Okay, where did you feel the least safe out of any of the places that you've been to?
In Disney, because you're not allowed to smoke anywhere. Sometimes you're not like smoking in the street, even in the street. So you're always afraid when you smoke and you light up a cigarette. Here is the cop comes, here is the police coming into basically to put you in jail for a long, long time for daring to smoke on the street. So I guess Australia would be the place that I feel least comfortable, I guess.
Why?
I told you cannot smoke anywhere.
Because of the smoking?
Because of the smoking, because it's in any state, as they always like, whatever you do, they look at you, it's some shigas. It's like Papa and Mama. And then you have to thank the Aboriginals for for allowing you to be in the country, to be in the land of Aboriginals. It's like a Meshigas over there. It's really a Meshuganeplatz. And it's coming to New York, by the way. Now in New York, you have to say also, before you start any event, in the very kosher place, you have to thank the American natives for making it possible for you to live in their country.
But you enjoyed your time in Mea Shearim because there you could smoke wherever you wanted to.
In Mea Shearim there is a good food, there is a good spirit, the people are funny, it's a lot of humor on the street. I mean, people are warm. I mean,
You spent nearly a year there. How long were you in Israel?
over a year.
Over a year.
I live in New York and in Germany. I live in nice places. I live in Eimsbüttel in Germany, in Hamburg. I live on the Upper East Side of Manhattan on the Upper East Side of Manhattan in New York. I mean, some of the most highly educated places. I mean, people with the best job and the best this. The top of the creme of society lives, and I don't know my neighbor. I can be there for God knows how many years. I don't know my neighbor. I don't know nobody. I mean, it's like you hardly know anybody.
Well, that
I mean,
wasn't
like,
possible in Mea Shearim.
But in Mea Shearim, after a couple of days, people already approach you. After the weeks, you already know your
You were
name.
a star there. I visited you when you were in Mea Shearim.
I mean, and after 2 weeks, you cannot walk on the street and people don't ask you, Tuvia was er geht, Tuvia. Tuvia, was machst du an? Tuvia begeistert. Oh, what are you going to be today? What are you going to do today? What did you do yesterday? Did you eat already? Do you want some gefilte fish? I mean, it's like unbelievable. I mean, after, and everybody's approaching you. So you feel like you are in a family. It's like a big, big family and you are part of the family. It's amazing. I mean, the human-to-human, person-to-person relationship is so different. The society is so different. And yes, it's amazing. Imagine here in Frankfurt, you walk on the street, you walk, people knock on your door. Sasha, did you have gefilte fish for this evening? I just made a gefilte fish, and it's so good, the gefilte fish. And would you like to try my gefilte fish? Just like this for no reason. I mean...
And then you wrote a whole book about it. Show us your book.
This is the book. This is the book.
A bestseller, yet again.
Yeah, it's a bestseller. Baruch Hashem, as they say, thank the Lord, as they say. Yeah, it's a bestseller. It's a Spiegel bestseller. It's a Stern bestseller. It's a whatever you call it. It's a, but mainly it's a Spiegel bestseller, you know, and that's very good.
When was the last time you visited?
Which means that the people like it, and I'm very happy about it. So the Germans like it, and the Germans have an opportunity to see something else about Jews, not condemning them. Like they always, when you talk about the ultra-Orthodox, is some of the worst, you know, descriptions that comes before people talk about, especially places like Mea Shearim or any ultra-Orthodox neighborhood. And you are told how dangerous and aggressive the people are, bim pam pum, ba 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 ba. And here you have an opportunity to see the lives, the way people really live, because
many
my dear wife and I were there for over a year.
Many secular Jews see it that way.
Yeah, many secular Jews, you know, also are very anti-Semitic against their own. I mean, basically, you know, it's like you have Jewish anti-Semites, by the way, many of that, and to see another way to take a look at this community from another perspective. So I'm happy it is a bestseller, not just because of me selfish personal reasons and my ego or my bank account, but mostly because people have this experience now to see that world from a totally different perspective. And I am thankful.
When was the last time you visited Ramallah?
Ramallah, that was quite a few years ago, and the reason is I got to visit today. The reason is because some of the security apparatus over there, especially the ones who are connected with Jibril Rajub, you know, is the number 2 or 3 in the PLO. Jibril Rajub would like to find any opportunity to make out of me a kosher gefilte fish or a kosher.
I don't know if he cares about kosher, but he'd like to make a gefilte fish out of you.
Kosher hamburger or kosher something, you know, kosher hot dog. He would really like to do that because of we are in a very good relationship for a long time. And he never figured out that I am a Jew, and you're supposed to use the master spy of Palestine, and you're supposed to figure it out in the first second. And in months, he did not. So his honor is calling all the time. You know, he wants to take revenge. But we used to do a lot in the West Bank. I mean, Ramallah, Jenin, you know, whatever you want, Nablus, any place. You know, for the book Allein unter Juden. One day with the Israelis, one day with the Palestinians.
So yeah. Is a time going to come when you think you'll be able to visit again?
I I guess after the passing, after the Yortzeit of the passing of Rabbi Jibril Raju,
and a few more like him.
I guess, maybe, I don't know. I mean, with him it was an honor, it's like the question of honor. That's the main things that pissed him off. I mean, whatever I say about the Palestinians is okay for the Palestinians. I mean, it's like, what did they say? That they hate Jews. They hate Jews, so what's the big deal? So you'd like to kill them, okay, we all know that. I mean, it's like, it's not...
Beforehand, when we were talking off the record, you were referring to the education in the Palestinian territories as not being so Jew-friendly and a little worrisome for the future.
Yeah, I mean, like the interesting thing, we are going back to the Haredim Lemashare. And people think they don't read books, but they read books. They read my books before I showed up there. Some of them know my books, they can quote from it, by heart. And after the October 7, the Haredim said to me, quite a few of them, they said, Tuvia, you see, you wrote that in the book so many years ago, that this exact thing could happen, and will happen. And you're right. So I'm not bragging about it, but if you read the books, it's like this book and the other books, it's always there. Not because I'm such a big prophet, I mean, like, I'm such a holy rabbi who knows everything and closer to God, who can know all the secrets of heaven and all the secrets of what happened. It's basically just because I took the time, talked to the people, sit with everybody.
You felt the love for the Jews.
And I felt the love for Jews. I felt the thing, and I was told what you'll do to get rid of the Jews. It's basically, there's no stop sign. Anything goes. And it's all in the books. So, and the frightening thing, the saddening thing is, when October 7 came, we were in Israel, and for me, it didn't come as a surprise. I kind of, you say, predicted it. And the sad part is, how come the Israeli leaders, the media, all these people, some of them top of the top, for them you're in total shock when that happened. Why were they shocked? Didn't you know? Yes, it didn't. And that is the one that was surprising thing from, to see it. I knew it, but to see it, that's surprising.
Now be a prophet again? Where is this going to lead to? Where will we be a year from now?
No, you don't need to be a prophet. I mean, the Israeli-Palestinian equation will never go away. The world will always be anti-Jewish. It's been like this for 2,000 years, at least. The Israeli-Palestinian issue will not be solved before the Shia-Sunni issue, which is inside Islam, will be solved. And that already we have like 100 centuries that it's not been solved. I mean, and it's opens up every time, like what happens in Yemen, and all the other places in the Arab world, in the Muslim world. That has not been solved, and if the Muslim cannot solve the problems, the religious problems between themselves, between their own tribes, why do you think they will be able to solve, anybody will be able to solve what happens in Israel between the Jews and the Palestinians? It's not going to be solved, and what will happen is the permutation of possibilities is huge, because you don't know what more mistakes will Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister, do. How many more times, the Israelis who are supposed to be smart Jews keep on voting for Benjamin Netanyahu after all the mistakes he made, and especially now. You just don't know what they will do, because they are so unpredictable, they are so unprofessional. I mean, the Israeli government now, the coalition is so unprofessional, and they make every mistake possible, by any book. They make statements that are stupid. They react stupidly. The fight between brother and sister that they created is stupid, and it looks like they are waiting for the time that the war is over and they can renew the fight with the rest of the Israeli population. So when you talk about basically idiots, you talk about Meshugoyim, you cannot predict what Meshuggah will do, because a Meshuggah doesn't have a path, a logical path that you can predict, and you say, okay, you'll go here, because there is some logic. These people, there's no logic to what they do. I mean, the fight and the hatred of one to another that was spread by this government and by its leading part. I mean, Israeli society was about to fall apart before the war. I mean, from one reason you can say that what saved Israel from really people fighting people on the street is what happened on 7 October. I don't remember Israel ever being such a sad place to be in as before 6 of October, as of 6 of October, as before 7 of October. The hatred on the street, championed by the government, championed by the leaders, was such a sad thing to see. You already saw, I already called it for myself, at least I called it. I mean, I said it in public, also in the media,